On October 5, 1944, above Asselt, Netherlands, 5 Spitfire MKIXs from 401 Squadron, Royal Canadian Air Force, circled under the afternoon sun, unaware they were about to witness history. Squadron leader Smith was the first to spot a streak of silver, diving toward Nîmes at impossible speed. No propeller, no familiar profile, just a dart of metal moving faster than anything the Canadians had ever seen. The Messerschmitt Me 262, the world's first operational jet fighter. For 3 years, Allied intelligence had whispered of German jets, but nothing prepared pilots for the reality screaming past at over 500 miles per hour. Smith keyed his radio, calling Flight Lieutenants Davenport and Everard, and flying officers Mai and Sinclair into attack positions, setting the stage for aviation history, the first confirmed air-to-air shootdown of a jet fighter. That encounter revealed the Me 262's fatal vulnerability, one that American P-51 Mustang pilots would soon exploit systematically, turning the world's first operational jet into a largely neutralized threat despite its revolutionary speed and design. The psychological impact reverberated through Allied squadrons. Pilots realized air combat had changed forever. Chuck Jagger of the 357th Fighter Group learned that in a straight chase, the jet's 540 miles per hour outpaced the Mustang's 437 miles per hour. Had the Luftwaffe fielded sufficient jets with trained pilots and fuel, strategic bombing campaigns could have faced catastrophic losses. Yet the Me 262's groundbreaking Jumo 004 turbojet engines, capable of 1,980 pounds of thrust, were primitive and temperamental, consuming fuel at twice the rate of conventional fighters and suffering rapid wear. Throttle lag, poor response, and fragile engines meant that during low-speed phases, takeoff and landing, the jet was almost defenseless. High wing loading required takeoff speeds exceeding 110 miles per hour, leaving aircraft vulnerable for the crucial acceleration phase, and landing approaches mirrored these dangers. Allied intelligence rapidly analyzed these weaknesses. Reconnaissance identified jet bases at Amma, Heap, Rhine, Lechfeld, and Munich Re, and gun camera footage revealed that while jets dominated high-speed, high-altitude combat, they were predictable and exposed during critical phases. Mustangs loitering near these bases could strike when the Me 262s were most vulnerable, exploiting their dependence on specialized fuel and fixed airfields. German defenses attempted to mitigate the threat with flak alleys, fighter top cover, randomized schedules, and decoys, but the fundamental problem remained. Jets had to take off and land. Lieutenant Urban Drew of the 361st Fighter Group became a pioneer in applying these insights. On October 7, 1944, he led a mission against the Acma airfield, attacking two Me 262s as they attempted takeoff. His precise timing and aggressive tactics destroyed both jets in less than 2 minutes despite intense flak, demonstrating that technological superiority could be overcome through tactical innovation. Drew's gun camera jammed, and his only witness was shot down and captured, leaving his historic feat unrecognized for decades. Official confirmation came only in 1983 when Allied and German records were cross-referenced, and Drew was awarded the Air Force Cross. Similar tactics proliferated. Chuck Jagger, flying glamorous Glen 3, later intercepted a lone jet on landing approach, exploiting its low speed and extended gear configuration to destroy it decisively. These encounters illustrated a key principle. Jets could be hunted if engagements avoided their high speed, high-altitude advantages and targeted vulnerable flight phases. P-51 Mustangs, with exceptional range and endurance, could loiter for hours near known bases, dive from altitude to gain speed, and strike jets during takeoff or landing. These lessons were repeatedly applied with devastating effect. On February 25, 1945, Mustangs of the 55th Fighter Group ambushed Me 262s at Geilstart Airfield, destroying 6 on the ground or during takeoff, a severe blow to the Luftwaffe. Despite elite pilots and advanced tactics, the Me 262 never reached operational dominance. Production was slow, engines unreliable, and fuel scarce. At most, 50 jets were operational simultaneously, often fewer, facing thousands of Allied fighters and bombers. Even top German aces acknowledged that while jets offered advantages in theory, practical limitations, fuel shortages, fragile engines, high takeoff and landing vulnerability negated strategic impact. Units like Jagdverband 44, led by Adolf Galland, briefly demonstrated the Me-262's potential, but continuous Allied attacks, logistical constraints, and resource scarcity limited effectiveness. By April 1945, Me-262 operations were fragmented, improvised, and desperate, with pilots flying isolated sorties or surrendering aircraft to advancing forces. The Me-262, despite tactical successes and revolutionary design, could not overcome strategic realities. Germany lacked fuel, trained pilots, numbers, and air superiority. American and Allied pilots, flying comparatively slower aircraft but supported by overwhelming industrial and logistical advantages, neutralized the jet threat through persistence, innovation, and tactical brilliance. Lessons learned shaped post-war aviation. P-51 Aces experiences informed the development of the P-80 Shooting Star, the MiG-15, and other early jets, emphasizing engine reliability, throttle response, and endurance. Doctrine evolved around exploiting enemy weaknesses rather than confronting technological strengths. In the end, the Me-262 stood as a testament to ingenuity and the promise of jet propulsion but arrived too late to alter the war's outcome. Individual pilots like Drew and Jagger proved that skill, courage, and tactical acumen could overcome even the most advanced technology. From October 1944 to May 1945, Allied forces systematically neutralized the jet threat, destroying aircraft on takeoff, landing, and in combat, eroding the Luftwaffe's capacity to challenge air superiority. The story of the Me-262 versus Mustang engagements became a lasting lesson. Human skill and tactical understanding often trump raw technological advantage, a principle that would shape air combat doctrine for decades to come.